Hi everybody, it's Tricia here at the Clubhouse, and I wanted to share a really cool project with you. I love it when I can mix my paper crafting with other areas of my life, like making jewelry or something out of some of the same supplies I used to make pages and cards, and that's today's project. I found this project on the Jacquard website, and I've just called them Piñata Beads because it uses the Jacquard Piñata alcohol inks to make these really cool beads that look just like they're made out of glass, but actually they're made out of vinyl tubing. Now, depending on what field you or your husband may be in, you might think it looks like ice maker tubing or medical tubing or anything like that, but you can find this at your hardware store, and we'll also have some here for you for a limited time if you have a hard time finding this in your area. This is the 1/4 inch tube, and that means the inner part of the tube is 1/4 of an inch. All right, so I'm going to just take a piece of this tubing and cut off a section of the tube with my scissors. And it should cut easily with the scissors. And even the tube has a little bit of writing on it. You can see this, and that's just how it comes. And if you happen to get a section that has writing on it, it's not a problem. We're going to be covering this with some alcohol inks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just select a color of ink, and I'm going to go with, how about a brown? I'm wearing brown today, so we'll go with brown. And I will take the ink and just pour it down, just a drop or two, because you know how alcohol inks are. And we're pouring it in the inside of this tube. Now the ink will start to flow down the tube, and then it stops. So to help it along a little bit, I'm going to be using a can of air that you would use to clean out your keyboard of all the dust and stuff underneath, and it has this little point on the front of it. So I'm just going to insert that tip into the tube and give it a little bit of a spray of air. What that will do is force that alcohol ink through to the other end of the tube. A mistake I made the first time I made these was just using too much alcohol ink. A little does go a long way. You want to avoid the ink sort of splashing out from the bottom of the other end of your vinyl tube. So if you want to add a little more, and just spray it on through. Now, of course, you'll want to go and add maybe a second color, and I'm just going to go with yellow. Kind of in one of those wintry moods today. Brown and yellow look kind of cool. Just another little drop in there. And now my goal at this point is starting to be to just get rid of all of the areas that don't have any ink at all, just so that my bead has color all the way through. And you know what? I'm really liking this amberish color that I'm achieving here as these colors blend. So I think I'm going to stop there. Now, what you can do next, and this to me is one of the neat things about the Piñata alcohol inks, is that they come with a white. Now, I have not seen any white alcohol ink anywhere else, so this comes in a set of all the colors, a blending agent, a cleaning agent, and then the white Piñata ink. So I'll take the lid off of this, and what this will do is add a bit of opaqueness to this ink color. So I'll take a squirt of the white in there, and you can kind of watch it blend. Check that out. If you need the air, oh, that is just gorgeous. Love that. I'm actually not needing the air here, but oops, got a little bit on my hand. This is what I'm referring to. I have a little bit too much ink there. And that's why I have my apron on. Okay. So there's my bead. Now if you look at this, it does look a little bit like a piece of glass, doesn't it? But it's really a very inexpensive little piece of plastic. So let me show you the next step now to taking this bead to the next level using some of Club Scrap's wood-mounted stamps. Now I have this image from the Bridges collection, and you'll notice that the line detail on this stamp is very fine and a little bit detailed and has some open areas too. The floral border from the Generations kit was really pretty as well, and you can experiment with the beads, with the stamps that you have in your collection. And I'm also using some solvent base ink. This is the black Stays On from Sukaneko, but you can use any permanent solvent base ink for this. Notice that I'm placing the stamp on the work surface in front of me with the rubber side facing up, and then I'm inking it thoroughly. And then I have my little tube bead. So what I'll do is roll the bead along the inked stamp image. And this is where that writing that you see there initially just doesn't matter. As I'm rolling this along, I'm putting downward pressure on that bead, and because the vinyl tubing does have a slight curve to it, you'll need to put pressure on that to make contact at all points. Okay, so now I have a stamped image on this bead, and I'm sure it's a little bit hard for you to see, but it really is beautiful. Now, as a finishing touch to this, what we can do is take a eyelet, either gold or silver or whatever color you like. This is a 1/4 of an inch eyelet, and then I'll place the eyelet right into the end of the bead. Love this. And it just sticks there. You don't even need to put glue in it or anything. Been jewelry tested and worn, and very successfully that stays right in there. If you want to put a little bit of glue in there, you can, but that little eyelet will just stay right in place if you use the 1/4 inch vinyl tubing. And then you can experiment with other sizes of tubing as well. It comes in all kinds of different sizes. So here's your bead. Now let's just say you want to make a set of beads. What you would then do is just cut a longer piece of the vinyl tubing and then color it, again using the help of the can of air to distribute the color through the entire bead. And that way the color of this long bead is all consistent, and then you can take your scissors and cut it into smaller pieces to make your finished piece of jewelry. And then attach this bead to a cobra chain or some ball chain, whatever, and this will make a great gift. Of course, I spent a lot of time doing some experimenting, and I've demoed this project at the retreats this year at Club Scrap, and I wanted to show you the results of some of that experimentation. Let me get this out of the way and take a look. This is the finished bead again that we just made together here in just minutes, and I'll just start bringing in some of these really cool beads. I'm not sure if you can see this cool green color that we have going here. Here's a brighter color. You can see that Bridges wood-mounted stamp really doing a nice job on just adding some nondescript decorative elements to that one. It's long, so too I could take my scissors and cut it into smaller pieces and then get my finished piece of jewelry with several beads of the same coloring. This is one of my favorites. This blue, it kind of looks sort of oceany, and I didn't even stamp on this one because I just loved how the color worked on it so much. Well, enough of that. Let's just show you this big old pile of beads here that I've made just with some vinyl tubing, some eyelets, and the Piñata alcohol inks. Well, I hope you want to give this a try. Check it out for yourself and see how much fun you can have. I'll see you next time.